this is Charlie from Charlie's Awesome World of Adventures, and welcome back to Railway Series Read-Alongs. I know it's been a while, but I'm finally back. And today we'll be taking a look at James the Red Engine. This book has been considered to be the Reverend W. Awdry's least favourite book, but isn't it is bad as the Reverend thinks. Well, let's find out. Dear friends of Edward, Gordon, Henry, and Thomas, must thank you for all your kind letters. Here is a new book for which you asked. James, who crashed into the story of Thomas Tank Engine, settles down and becomes a useful engine. And we are nationalised now, but the same engine still works to read. I'm glad to tell you that the Fat Director, who understands our friend's way, is still in charge, but now the Fat Controller. I hope you enjoyed this book too. The author. Yeah, not gonna lie, it felt weird in the Fat Director instead of the Fat Controller in those two books. That's the three Railway Engines and Thomas the Tank Engine. But I'm glad I don't have to do that. Anyway, let's get on to these stories. James and the Top Hat. James was a new engine who lived at a station at the other end of the line. He had 2 small wheels in the front and 6 driving wheels behind. They weren't as big as Gordon's, and they weren't as small as Thomas. You're a special mixed traffic engine, said the Fat Controller. The Fat Controller told him, "You'll be able to pull all coaches or trucks quite easily. But trucks are not easy things to manage, and on his first day, they had pushed him down a hill into a field. He had been ill after the accident, but now he had new brakes and a shiny iron coat of paint. The red paint will cheer you up after your accident," said the Fat Controller kindly. "You are to pull coaches today, and Edward shall help you." They went together to find the coaches. "Be careful with the coaches, James," said Edward. "They don't like being bumped. Trucks are silly and noisy. They need to be bumped and ought to behave, but coaches get cross and will pay you out." They took up the coaches to the platform and were both completely on in front. The Fat Controller, the station master, and some little boys all came to admire James, aimed at shining rods and red paint. James was pleased. "I am a really splendid engine," he thought, and suddenly let off steam. Whee! The Fat Controller, the station master, and the guard all jumped, and a shower of water fell on the Fat Controller's nice new top hat. Just then the whistle blew out, and James thought they had better go. So they went. Go on, he puffed to Edward. Don't push, puffed Edward, for he did not like starting quickly. Don't go so fast, grumbled the coaches. But James didn't listen. He wanted to run away before the Fat Controller could call him back. He didn't even want to stop at the first station. Edward tried hard to stop, but the 2 coaches in front would be on the platform before they stopped, and they had to go back to let the passengers get out. Lots of people came to look at James, and as no one seemed to know about the Fat Controller's top hat, James felt happier. Presently, they came to the junction where Thomas was waiting with his 2 new coaches. "Hello, James," said Thomas kindly, feeling better. "That's right. That's my guard's whistle. So I'm a scoop. Sorry, I can't stop. I don't know what the Fat Controller would do without me to run this branch line. And he pulled off importantly with his two coaches into a tunnel. No, leaving the junction, they passed the field where James had his accident. The fence was suspended, and the cows were back again. James whistled, but they paid no attention. They clattered through Edward Station Yard and started to climb the hill beyond. It's ever so steep, puffed James. I've done it before, puffed Edward. But it's steep, but we'll do it. It's steep, but we'll do it, the two engines puffed together as they pulled all the train up the long hill. They both rested at the next station. Edward told James how good all the had stuck up on the hill. And he had to push him out. James laughed so much that as he got a hiccup of unsurprised an old lady in a black bonnet. She dropped all her parcels and three porters, the station master and the guard, had to run. And after her picking them up, James was quiet in the shed that night. He had enjoyed his day, but he was a little afraid of what the Fat Controller would say about his top hat. But we'll find out what he says in the next story, James and the Bootlace. Next morning, the Fat Controller spoke severely to James. If you can't behave, I shall take away your red coat and have you painted blue. James did not like that at all. And he was very rough with the coaches as he brought on to the platform. Come along, he called rudely. All in good time, the coaches grumbled. Oh, don't talk, come on, answered James. And with the coaches wheeling and grumbling after him, he snored into the station. James was cross that morning. The Fat Controller had spoken to him, the coaches had ruled him, and worst of all, he had to fetch his own coaches. Gordon never does, thought James, and he's only painted blue, a splendid red engine, and like me should never have to fetch his own coaches. And he often snorted round to the front of the train and axed onto it with a rude bump. Ooh, groaned the coaches. That was too bad. And to make James even from cross, he then had to take the coaches to a different platform where no one came near him. As he stood there, the Fat Controller was in his office, the station master was at the upper end of the train with the guard, and even the little boy stood along. James felt lonely. Oh, show 'em, he said to himself. They think Gordon is the only engine who can pull coaches. And as soon as the guard's whistle blew, he started off with a tremendous jerk. Oh, come on, he puffed. And the coaches, squeaking and groaning in protest, clattered over the pool onto the open line. Hurry, puffed James. You're going too fast, said the coaches. And indeed they were going so fast that as they swayed from side to side, James laughed and tried to go faster, but the coaches wouldn't let him. We're going to stop. Oh, they said, and James found himself going slower and slower. Well, what's the matter? James asked his driver. The brakes are hard on, leaking the pipes. Most likely. You banged the coaches enough to make a leak in anything. The guard and the driver got down and looked at the brake pipes all along the train. At last, they found a hole where rough treatment and had made the joint work loose. "How shall we mend it?" said the guard. James's driver thought for a moment. "We'll do it with newspaper and a leather bootlace." "Well, where is the bootlace coming from?" asked the guard. "We haven't one." "Ask the passengers," said the driver. So the guard made everyone get out. "Has anybody got a leather bootlace?" he asked. They all said no, except one man in a bowler hat, whose name was Jeremiah Jobling, who tried to hide his feet. "You have a leather bootlace there, I see, sir," said the guard. "Please give it to me." "I won't," said Jeremiah Jobling. "Instead," said the guard sternly, "I'm afraid the train will just stop where it is." Then the passengers all told the guard, the driver, and the fireman what a bad railway it was. But then the guard climbed into his van, and the driver and fireman made James let off steam. So they all told Jeremiah Jobling he was a bad man instead. At last he gave them his laces. The driver tied a pad of newspaper tightly round the hole, and James was able to pull the train. But he was a sadder and wiser James, and took care never to bump coaches again. Troublesome trucks. James did not see the Fat Controller for several days. They left James alone in the shed, and did not even allow him to go out and put coaches and trucks in the yard. "Oh dear," he thought sadly. "I'll never be allowed out any more. I shall have to stay in the shed for always, and no one will ever see my red coat again. Oh dear, oh dear." James began to cry. Just then the Fat Controller came along. "I see you are sorry, James," he said. "I hope now you will be a better engine. You have given me a lot of trouble. People are laughing at my railway, and I do not like it at all." "I am very sorry, sir," said James. I will try hard to behave." "That's a good engine," said the Fat Controller kindly. "I want you to pull some trucks for me. Run along and find them." So James puffed happily away. "Hey, here are your trucks, James," said a little tank engine. "Have you got some bootlaces ready?" And he ran away, off laughing rudely. "Ow, ow, ow," said the truck as James back down on them. "We want a proper engine, not a red monster." James took no notice and started as soon as the guard was ready. Come along, he puffed. We won't," screamed the trucks. But James didn't care, and he pulled the screeching truck sternly out of the yard. The trucks tried hard to make him give up, but he still kept on. Sometimes their brakes would slip on, and sometimes their axles would run hard. Each time, they would have to stop and put the trouble right, and each time James would start again, determined not to let the trucks beat him. Give up! You can't pull us! You can't! Oh no, fair that one. Give up! You can't pull us! You can't! Called the trucks. "I can on the wheel! I can on the wheel!" puffed James, and slowly but surely he puffed them along the line. At last they saw Gordon's Hill ahead. "Look out for trouble, James," warned his driver. We'll go fast and get them up before they know it. Don't let them stop you." So James went faster and faster. And they were soon halfway up the hill. I'm doing it, he panted. But it was hard work. Will the top never come, he thought. When with a sudden jerk, it all came easier. I've done it, he puffed triumphantly. Hooray, he thought, it's easy now. But his driver shut off steam. They've done it again, he said. We've let Ethel tail behind. The last 10 trucks were running backwards down the hill. The coupling had snapped, but the guard was brave. Very carefully, fleeing cleverly, he made them stop. Then he got out and walked down and along with his red flag. That's why it was easy, said Jane. As he backed the other trucks carefully down. What silly things trucks are. They might have been in an accident. Meanwhile, the guard had stopped Edward, who was put on a free coaches. Shall I help you, James? Called Edward. No, thank you, answered James. I'll pull them myself. Good, don't let them beat you. So James got ready. Then with a peep, he was off. I can do it. But he puffed. He pulled and puffed as hard as he could. Peep, pip, peep, peep. You're doing well, whistled Edward. As James slowly struggled up the hill with clouds of smoke and steam pouring from his funnel. I've done it, he panted and disappeared over the top. They reached each station safely. James was resting in the yard when Edward puffed by with a cheerful peep peep. Then walking towards him across the rails, James saw the Fat Controller. Oh dear, what would he say? He asked himself sadly. But the Fat Controller was small. I was in Edward's train and saw everything, he said. You made the most troublesome trucks on the line and behaved. After that, you deserve to keep your red coat. James and the Express. Sometimes Gordon and Henry slept up in James's shed, and they would talk of nothing but bootlace. James would talk about our engines who got shut up in tunnels and stuck on hills. Oh, payback! I love it when engines pay each other back. Okay, back to the story. But they wouldn't listen, and when Anton talking and laughing, you talk too much, little James. Gordon would say, a fine strong engine like me has something to talk about. I'm the only engine who can pull the Express. As when I'm not there, they need 2 engines. Think of that. I pulled express trains for years and have never once lost my way. I seem to know the right line by instinct, said Gordon proudly. Every wise engine knows, of course. Also, the signal and works to put on to make the engines run on the right line. But Gordon was so proud that he had forgotten. Wake up, James, he said. And in the morning, it's nearly time for the Express. What are you doing? Odd jobs? Oh, well, we all have to begin somewhere, don't we? Run on, long down and get my coaches. Don't be late now. James went to get Gordon's coaches. They were now all shining with lovely new paint. He was careful for not to bump them, and they followed him smoothly into the station, singing happily, We're going away. I wish I was going with you. You said, James. I should love to pull the Express and go flying along the line. He left them in the station and went back to the yard just as Gordon, with much noise and blowing of steam, backed onto the train. The Fat Controller was on the train with other important people, and as soon as they had the guard's whistle, so Gordon started, Look at me now, he puffed. Up and the coaches glided after him out of the station. Poop, poop, poop. Oop, poop, poop. Oop, goodbye, little James. See you tomorrow. James watched the train disappear around the curve. And then went back to work. He pushed some trucks into their proper sidings and went to fetch the coaches for another train. And he brought the coaches to the platform and was just us being uncoupled when he had a on for quiet. I shush. And there was Gordon trying to slide into the station without being noticed. "Hello, Gordon. Is it tomorrow?" asked James. Gordon didn't answer. He just let off steam feebly. "Did you lose your way, Gordon?" "No, it was lost for me," he answered crossly. "I was switched off the main line onto the loop. I had to go all round and back." "Perhaps it was instinct," said James brightly. Meanwhile, all the passengers hurried to the booking office. "We want our money back," they shouted. Everyone was making a noise, but the Fat Controller climbed on a trolley and blew the guard's whistle so loudly that they all stopped to look at him. And then he promised them a new train at once. "Gordon can't do it," he said. "Will you pull it for us, James?" "Yes, sir, I'll try." So James was pulled on and everyone got in again. "Do your best, James," said the Fat Controller kindly. Just then the whistle blew, and he had to run to get in. Come along, puffed James. "You're pulling us well," sang the coaches. Hurry! Stations in Britain. It is flat ash, but the passengers leaned out of the windows and cheered, and they soon reached the terminus. Everyone said thank you to James. "Well done," said the Fat Controller. "Would you like to board the express sometime?" Yes, please," answered James happily. Next day, James came by. Gordon was pushing trucks in the yard. "I like some quiet work for a change," he said. "I'm teaching these trucks some manners. You did well with those coaches, I hear." "Good, we'll show 'em." And he gave his truck a bait making them cry. "Ow, ow, ow, ow." James and Gordon are now good friends. James sometimes takes the express to give Gordon a rest. Gordon never talks about bootlegs, and they both quite agree on the subject of trucks. And that was James the Red Engine. And honestly, yeah, I've got to agree with Audrey about this being in one of his weaker books. Some of the dialogue in the first story was hard and confusing to understand, and these illustrations have not aged well. Now, I know these were updated for this section in Tingley Library, but keep in mind that this box set was released back in 2011. And after 12 years, these updated illustrations don't look great. Honestly, if you want a great illustrated version or at least a good looking one, then I'd probably suggest the 2015 version. Anyway, there were actually a few good stories. I thought the last two stories were excellent. And there are some fun bits of dialogue. Although, if I had to rate them, then number 4 would be James and the Bootlegs. Number 3, James and the Coaches. No, James and the Top Hat. Number 2, James and the Express. And number 1, Troublesome Truck. Overall, I'd rate this book a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad book, but compared to some of Audrey's other books, it could be a lot better. So, let's put this one back into the collection. And next time, I'll be taking a look at Hank Henry Thomas again. And hopefully, the video on that won't be as long as the video for this one took. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!